So we continue on with our female artist kick, and you guys know that I'm loving this. We're having all these fantastic women on the show. Tonight we're talking to Katie Costello, and we are so excited to have her on the line in the studio with us this evening. Katie, hello.
Hey.
Hey, well, welcome to the show. We're so excited. We just saw.
Oh my God.
We were just listening to all your music, and we got it all in the short period of time that we've all been together.
Yeah.
Yay, wonderful.
It's been great, and I was telling them how big of a kazoo enthusiast you are, which is hard to find.
And it shows through your music.
You know what? It's a tough instrument. I mean, listen. I mean, a lot of technique, a lot of time, a lot of practicing. A lot of skills.
You're kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So you've been now in New York for about a year now. You moved from Hermosa Beach out there. And how's been New York treating you? And have you missed anything since you've been out there from New York?
I definitely miss the West Coast. I definitely miss the weather. It's consistent and great, and of course I miss my family. But I have to say, New York, I have nothing but good things to say about her. She's fantastic.
Her.
She's a lady. New York is a lady. She's my favorite lady. I'm living in Brooklyn, and it's just the best place in the world. I couldn't be happier.
Go Dodgers.
Awesome.
So you're not missing Tommy's, you're not missing In-N-Out, nothing like that?
You know what? I don't know that I am. I don't know that I am.
Wow.
There's a lot of fantastic burger places and pretty much fantastic versions of nearly everything here. So,
Well, fine. Why don't you just stay in New York? Don't come back.
We don't want you anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Katie Costello. Okay.
So you got for Pinks you have Papoose. So you got that free trade off.
Oh yes, definitely. No, I've thankfully come out to the West Coast enough that I've it's been a good balance. I've been actually back and forth quite a bit, and that's been really, really nice. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
So let us know about this recent launch that you did with your web series, and you got a bunch of albums coming out, and it's just sounding really great. And you can catch all of Katie's YouTube videos if you go to her YouTube. It's youtube.com, Katie Costello Music. Let us know a little bit about what you're doing there.
Oh yeah, thank you. Well, I was really inspired by my friends in New York. They've done a lot of videos on YouTube, and for the release of my next record, which is going to be called Lamplight, I was I'm at the tail end of mixing everything and getting everything together, all the artwork, and as I'm sure every creative person and really every person deals with is like, I'm done with this record, but how do I stay in it? How do I stay engaged? How do I keep myself, attached to these songs and what they mean and what I'm doing? Because, as soon as you're done, you're like, all right, next thing, let's do it.
Right.
So this YouTube series was great because I'd never done anything like it, and it's called Launch To Lamplight. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm playing all the songs from the record live in my living room of my apartment, and posting them every couple of weeks or so, just to give people an opportunity to hear the songs, to know them before they hear the versions on the record.
Very awesome. Now, is it keeping it fun for you doing it this way?
Yeah, you know what? It's I experienced some minor complications at first when I discovered that my keyboard actually wiggled in the screen as I was playing piano violently. So I had to sort of like do all of these funny makeshift ways in which to not have the piano dance in the screen. But it's been great. It's been really fun, and it kind of makes me, re-fall in love with the songs, being able to play them and post them and, get feedback and all that stuff.
That is so cool. I love the fact that you play the keyboard. I do too.
Oh, yay!
We can play the keyboard together. Except I'm not going to New York. I'm staying here. So, hey, you are a New York girl right now, but let's not forget that you do hail from Hermosa Beach. here in California.
Yeah.
And I've been told that you like to collect pebbles on the beach and you write your music. And you do spend a lot of time at the library, which I think is very interesting. And I just would like to know, what's your fascination with public libraries? Is there something that I need to know?
Well, I hope that everybody gets to experience a beautiful public library because, one, I think libraries smell fantastic. I love the smell of books more than anything. It's fantastic. But really more than that, I mean, so many public libraries are beautiful. I mean, they're architecturally amazing. They're historical, and I mean, really the biggest attraction to me is the fact that you're in a room with all of these amazing works of art. You're kind of in a room with every thought ever, somehow,
Totally.
Yeah.
to some degree, and that's a really, it's kind of like you're amongst greatness, and that feels nice.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a powerful thing to experience.
Wow,
Now, do you feel inspired, like when you're at the library? I mean, I know that like every musician, every artist has a different place that they like to, get inspired. Do you ever find yourself actually writing lyrics or reading something in the library, and you're like, ooh, I want to sing about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I've actually written some of my favorite songs after reading a book, and it's never really like directly about the plot or the theme of the book or anything. But I think the more movies you watch, the more books you read, the more things you do. Essentially, you have more to think about. It's not a matter of you have an original thought or not, but you just sort of it's just a little bit more food for thought.
Totally.
Yeah, I noticed when we received Kaleidoscope that you like to have fun with your music. You use like there was like some drunken, intoxicating like chatter underneath, and like there's all these different like sounds. Is that part of what goes into like the game plan in your recording process, or is that kind of just happen sporadically?
Well, those drunken spirit voices that I think you're talking about, which I decided to call them drunken spirit voices because for whatever reason, there was something spiritual about them. I think you go into every recording project with a game plan, with an idea of what you want sonically, etc. But ultimately, you sort of end up hanging out, and you're kind of in a dark, weird room, and you're like, I guess we're making music. This is weird. Let's do some weird shit. I don't know.
Works for me.
Yeah. So I that's really my favorite part of recording is just you go in there with an idea, and it ends up transforming and changing, and you end up with something that you really never anticipated, which is great.
So talking about anticipating, you've been taking a new approach to getting to know your fans, and by being a part of a house concert. Now, what's a house concert?
Well, I've actually only participated in a few house concerts, but essentially there's official and non-official networks of people that host musicians at their home, and they invite their friends, or they invite the people that they've had subscribed to their mailing list, or etc. And it's in the limited experiences I've had in house concerts, it's amazing because you play for an audience of people that are there to listen to you, and there's something really moving about that. It's so nice to play to an audience of people that want to hear your music, and not only that, but they love music. They're professional music listeners, and I want to think of myself as a professional musician, so I want professional music listeners to hear me.
Totally.
Because it's just it's a fantastic experience. So me and a friend, Joey Ryan, are planning on organizing a house concert tour, hopefully in the fall. So we're in the beginning stages of organization, but that's what we're planning on doing because just really fun. It's really nice.
That's awesome. And those and the kind of the intimacy of those settings is nice. Well, listen, I wanted to talk to you about my favorite song that I listened to so far is Isn't It Lovely? And I really like how it starts out with an accordion and kind of how the song deals with, needing to take the time to slow down and really enjoy life. And I know that living in New York, I spent some time in New York after college, and I know that it's a really fast-paced lifestyle. I mean, how are you dealing with that transition?
I couldn't agree with you more. It's the craziest and weirdest place in the world that I've seen thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a perverted amount of fun to live here.